So this is as much of a question to people who believe in the afterlife, God, all that stuff, as much as it's just me questioning it to myself and wondering what other people think about what heaven is. There's like there's NEDs and stuff like that, stories like that out there. But what I'm just thinking is like, what is the point of heaven? It doesn't really it doesn't explain the answers for why we need religion here on earth. And I guess here on earth believers look forward to going to heaven. But okay, so you die and you're lucky enough to go to the right place, if you will, heaven. So what's it like? I mean, do you still have like a human form? Is it immaterial? Is it the same thing down here? I mean, I wonder if believers think about this kind of stuff, albeit weird, kind of, I guess. But to me, one who doesn't believe, I think a very real afterlife for biological entities would be that we go into the ground, and our electricity, we have a small amount of electricity in us, and that doesn't decay, it doesn't go away, it doesn't die. It gets like repurposed, it goes into the ethers. And that's actually, I think I've heard of it as, it's definitely my own personal theory about ghosts. If it is a real phenomenon, then it's a replay of that energy reshaping itself to what it was, when it had all this connective tissue it was flowing through all the connective tissue of that entity that's being witnessed by somebody who walks away with that anecdote. But okay, so you're in heaven. Okay, this is like the big point of this question and thinking about the afterlife is, what's the point, of course, and then also what you're there for, allegedly eternity. Not just physically, what are you in heaven, but how can that not be torture? How can that not be hell itself? You are mentally living forever and ever and ever. I mean, even a beautiful sky, like pastoral, heaven and all this idyllic imagery of heaven, it's so good and stuff. But even that a sentient human being would be like, this is, it would get old eventually. And, maybe that's why there's, as much as we don't like ugliness and pain and stuff in the world, experiencing that helps us appreciate the good. So what is heaven like for a thinking entity that transcends its body? It goes on to heaven and it's just existing forever. The brain just taking things in. I mean, what's the point? And wouldn't it be like a torture? And I gotta credit Thunderfoot on this because he's a YouTuber he talks a lot about religion, and he's a scientist. I don't know what kind of scientist, but really good videos. And that really stuck with me about like a sentient person existing forever, never dying. I think that's a good question. So that's really all I got. So thanks for checking it out. Later.